There are thousands of DOS games. Most of them are terrible. I play one selected at random with a 20-minute time limit and record it live. This is the result. BBC Sport presents... It's a football pitch! Match of the day! Alright. Just listen to that theme. One of the greatest, most iconic themes of all time. What a great opening for a game. We're gonna listen to the entire theme. Yes, we are. Oh, it's got an extended bit. Lovely. It's a nice little magazine, match day programme, showing who did what. Looks like a British team. Okay, I think we've seen what we need to see of the opening. Okay, so this is either a football management sim or a football game. Select team. Now, you'll already notice, look at the team names. Turkmenispor Berlin, yeah, nope. Bayer Leverkusen. Let's go with Bayer Leverkusen. Not Augsburg. Augsburg? Bayer Leverkusen. You'll notice the names because this is the Bundesliga. And it looks like we're stuck in the Bundesliga. So this must be a Bundesliga specific game. Probably for the German markets, I would guess. Except week 1. Hey, this is a football management sim. I can tell already as I rattle my chair about. Okay, so we've got a nice little ring binder that any Ron Atkinson impersonator would be proud of. So, unfortunately, the first thing I notice already is that everything's image based and there's no mouse over tooltip to let you know like what's going on here. Did I just manage to skip a day? I think I might have. I hit that and it went to... Oh, right, that's to skip time forward, not the day forward. Because there's the time. And then you can skip a day, presumably, by doing that. And we can't seem to go back. So let's just check out all the options, shall we? That looks like the match day. So that determines whether we watch the match or not, I guess. Management games were very popular basically from the early 90s onwards because people were just like, I can do better than this idiot in charge. And software companies said, alright then, we'll make a simulation and see if you can. Hey, these are draggable. Okay, interesting. So we've got panes on the left hand side that we can presumably drag over here to get, I guess that's a physio's report. That would be a trainer's report. So we'll get the physio or club doctor to take a look at who we've got at Leverkusen, and we'll have a trainer or potentially the physio, I'm not sure which. That looks like the transfer market. We'll put that there. So these aren't buttons. These are actions. Okay. There we go. Hey, it is the club doc. Look at that. And he's got a nice cup of coffee and a TV monitor. List players unable to play. All the players are fit enough to play. That's good news, doc. Thank you. I want to reorganize priority schedule. Yes. So there's our players. So we can sort of improve their fitness using the physio and set them as a priority and tell the doc, these guys need to be okay. No players have been injured recently either. Goodbye, doc. That was handy. Okay. You. He's the trainer. Look at that poster. Good God Almighty. Well, that's very laddish, isn't it? What is that? That's like a swimsuit special edition poster. Anyway, I'm getting distracted by the poster when I should be focusing on the game. I want to reorganize the training schedule. So there's the available sessions and training priority schedule. So you can choose by the right click. And I can tell all my attackers. There we are. I don't know what that's done, but list recent players off form. No players have been off form recently. So if a player's been off form, the trainer will tell you and you can schedule more training. Okay. What's next? Transfers. So players have contracts with clubs, obviously, and the transfer market is it's almost its own thing outside of football, you know. Obviously it involves football, but it's the business side of things, the buying and selling of players, and there's also the free transfer market. That's nice, it is free transfers. So let's look at purchase of a player. Select player to view. Don't think there's anybody there, game. So I guess free transfer market. Nobody there either. Okay. Select physio. Physio selection. Oh, you can. Oh, and they have different faces. Okay. Select trainer and scout. Do we have a scout? I think that is our scout already. So it's a very rudimentary system. There's a question mark here. I guess we'll go view that now. Team select. I believe that the team we've got is the team that we'll stick with. And that's the end of the first day. So we prioritized the first bit there. Let's have a look at what these other icons do, shall we? Oh, it's an editor. You can edit team names, player names, so on, right? So you can just click on that anytime rather than dragging it. All right. Match of the day. All right, that's the credits. Okay, thank you, Zeppelin Games. And let's save. Fixture list. It's who we're going to be playing in the future. Cool. Okay, thank you. There's your table. Select division, the Bundesliga. Eintracht Frankfurt are top for some reason, which is strange because you think it would go in alphabetical order. Oh well. And last but not least, our cash flow, which is important. We've got to keep the books balanced. So there's not much else to do there. So let's have a look at the fixtures. Saturday's fixtures. So we're up against FSV Zwickau or something like that. I'm not particularly familiar with the Bundesliga, unfortunately. Team talk. Player discipline. Not available until after the first week. Okay, so you can't go to your players and say, your performance last week was terrible. And they'll just go, but boss, I didn't have a game last week. Alright, so what's this? Hey, Interesting looking fella. Concentrate on next match teams. Search free transfer market. Search name division. Report last findings. So is that our scout? So we can tell him we can scout ahead and look at the teams ahead of us. We can search that free transfer market for a gem. Yeah, let's go for a good midfielder. I'll get straight on it, boss. You sure will. And that's more or less it. Let's what's this? Week 1. Keep searching for a nice midfielder for us. What if we go to the transfer market now? Will it have things listed for us? Let's see. Free transfer market. No, the scout hasn't found anyone yet. Assuming that I'm, doing it right. Goodbye. Still week 1. We're on Thursday. We'll see what he's got by. Oh, there's match of the day. Right. Let's actually go into the game now. We've looked at all the, basic mechanics, which is, it's very Premier Manager-esque. You can see the influence from that on this. I was a big Premier Manager fan myself. Didn't get into Football Manager, or shall we say Championship Manager back in the good days until a lot later. But enough waffling from me. Let's go to a match day. And there's Des Lynam. Good afternoon. Welcome to Match of the Day, featuring highlights from Zwickau versus Bayern Munich. Let's get straight to the action now with highlights from the first half. So you've got a top-down kickoff style view where you can actually see the action happening. And it's got little sound clips, which is nice. Zwickau appear to be doing alright against us here. That's poor. Is there something we can do? Welcome back. Any comments, Jimmy Hill? As I've said before, the winners will be those who score the most goals. That's great insight. Highlights from the second half. Okay, I guess we'll take a look at that. I feel a bit powerless here. Is there some kind of... That's it for today's game. Anything to add, Jimmy? In the game of professional football, it's the taking part that counts. Here, as promised, the results from the rest of today's games. So, did we lose? Yeah, we lost 1-0. That's disappointing. Does this mean we can give them an absolute rollicking? Until after first week finish, right. Okay, now it's week 2, right? Okay. So we can... Booked or notorious player. Wow. Half the team's a notorious player. So, team talk? No. Oh, we don't want to find them. We'll just have a little chat with the notorious players. I don't know what that did. And I have to say, it's one of those that needs a manual. It's not very intuitive. You'd think with the sort of simple buttons and stuff, oh, this would be easy. And I'm just going to skip through until we get to another match. There it is. Let's have a look at that match engine again. Good afternoon and welcome to Match of the Day, featuring highlights from Paderborn. Wow, let's go straight to the action. Let's have a look at the highlights. There is probably some way of fixing this in game. Well, that was ludicrously wide. Never going to threaten us. But it looks like one-way traffic at the minute. my Leverkusen side do not appear to be doing that well. Now, is there some way of influencing this mid-game? Because every time I try to do something, it just skips like this. It's not going well. Let's hope they can do better. Okay. Right click. That's it. Okay. 1-1. So again, I had no real impact whatsoever. Oh my. It wasn't 1-1, it was 3-0, I believe. Let's have a look at that. We can't. That's the fixture table, not the results table. And played... Oh, no. Yeah, it was a draw. What am I chatting about? So, yeah. I think I've had enough already, which is disappointing, I guess. Because I came into it and I thought, oh, a management sim. This should be interesting. But it's lacking a lot of the fundamentals that made the other management sims of that time so enthralling. Like, the idea of having it in real time and only being able to schedule certain things rather than spending hours tweaking and editing and, you know... It just seems at odds with the style of the game. You know, again, I'm going to bring up Premier Manager because it's the obvious comparison, a British-made management game. But you could sit in this sort of window and you could just alter things and edit things till your heart's content, and the game would only move on when you wanted it to move on. Now, I know you can alter your schedule and stuff, but there does appear to be like a limited number of things that you can do. Hold on, let's skip on to week 3. See, if I put that there and I say, oh, I also want to look at that. No, you have a limited amount of time in order to do anything, and I'm not a particular fan of that. And if you like me rambling on about old football games from the 90s, I have done 2 other videos about that, and I have done an absolute boatload of other stuff. So feel free to check out the channel, and if you like it, subscribe. Ah, what the hell. One more time. It was fun. Yeah!